I had another experience where the interviewer didn't call me for 30 minutes. I had another experience where the interviewer completely forgot about me, emailed me like an hour later. Oh no, I emailed them and then they were like, oops, my bad. Let's call you in 3 hours. So set time for that. Hello, my name is Larry and welcome to Dummy Codes. This is my channel where I either talk about coding or show what I'm working on and try to explain it and fail because how do you make coding entertaining to someone on YouTube? If you just saw my last video, this is a back-to-back type situation. I'm wearing the same shirt and that's okay. I wanted to talk about tech interviews. I want to share one of my bad experiences with tech interviews, especially being a self-taught developer who went to a boot camp. Whole lot of, why are technical interviews so hard is my question. Look, listen, I understand that technical interviews are designed to be hard and designed to be challenging because typically if you live in the Bay Area, once you pass all these interviews, at the end of that, job offer is like 100 and however many thousands of dollars, right? And you just go up from there. Plus a bonus, plus a signing bonus, plus yearly, whatever. I get it. You can't just hand someone a 6-figure job just because, you know, they're nice. You can't. But the thing is, depending on what company I apply for, they give a different type of test, right? Some might give a simple, coding problem where they're like, figure out how this work and make it work. Give me an answer, make it work, and it's cool. And some places might, give you a take-home assignment where they're like, make this entirely and come back to us and we'll see if we like it. Let me tell you about my first ever coding interview situation, right? So initially I had my phone screen where I just talk about my experience. They still liked me enough to send me a test, which is a second round, Coding interviews typically have many rounds. I know Amazon has 6 or 7 interviews, plus the phone interview, plus a phone screen. Then when you go there on site, you have 7. It's a lot, right? This company said, hey, you want to be a front end, which is, for those of you guys who don't know, it's just the stuff you see on the front. That's the simplest way to describe it. Or back end, which is the stuff you don't see, which is, the database, what holds the information, what stores your passwords, all that stuff. That's the back end. Know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to present all this information without going on another rant about front end and back end. All right, just give me a chance. This company sent me a test and they said you could do either front end or back end portion of this test. You get to pick, right? They all have different prompts. So I decide to do the back end portion of this prompt, right? I do the back end. I make sure it works. It's beautiful. Took me 5 hours for some reason because I really didn't know what I was doing. But the thing is, I didn't know what I was doing, but I figured it out literally the next day and turned it in as fast as possible. And I thought they would find that impressive. So I turned that in. They're like, okay, this looks great. They emailed me again and I was expecting a congratulations, come on for an on-site, then you get your job, But I didn't get invited for an on-site. This company, all of a sudden, keep in mind, they gave me 2 options. All of a sudden, they said, can you also do the front end? And what entailed in the front end, I had to learn this thing called Angular. Never touched Angular, never looked at Angular, never been on Angular's website, never looked at Angular code, none of that. All I knew was React. I breathe, live, everything React, right? And I told them this on the phone screen. So they gave me the front end portion after I already did the back end. They tried to tell me, would you mind learning Angular and doing this and having it in by Friday? And I know it's Wednesday, but would you? And in my head, I was a little bit frustrated because I was told I only had to do one thing, but they changed their mind. They're like, let's test this out. Let's waste this guy's time, right? Me being desperate for a job, instead of speaking up and be like, no, that's not okay. And yes, I'm still desperate for a full-time software engineering job, so please hit me up. Me being desperate, I told them, you know what? I'm going to learn Angular. Don't know how I was going to do that. I was going to learn Angular, do the project, and turn it in, right? I had set time on my calendar. I was like, okay, I need like 12 hours of grind time. I was going to do it overnight, right? I was going to spend 6 hours of studying and learning Angular and then another 6 hours of trying to put this project together. Just so, not for the job, but just so I could move on to the next step where they might interview and just be like, no. Well, I set the time apart, and then the next day they hit me up. They're like, hey, if you started that project, actually, never mind, because we're just going to go with someone else. I just sat there. I was in my kitchen. I sat there. I looked at that email and I rolled my eyes. I was like, okay. Because luckily, I did not start this project. Imagine how pissed I would be if I had finished not one requirement successfully, by the way, but I had to do another requirement just for them to be like, actually, never mind. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of it. I know we've wasted a lot of your hours, but never mind. I'd have been pissed, to say the least. And that's just one experience. I had another experience where the interviewer didn't call me for 30 minutes. I had another experience where the interviewer completely forgot about me, emailed me like an hour later. Oh no, I emailed them, and then they were like, oops, my bad, let's call you in 3 hours. So set time for that. And of course, if you say no in these situations, your chances automatically go lower. So I had to make time for that out of my day. Whoo! It's a lot, guys. It's frustrating just breaking into the industry as self-taught, and they see boot camp as, you know, a disadvantage sometimes. They won't hire someone who's worked in a boot camp, continuously worked on projects, got better and better and better, has a track record of just focus and dedication and passion and willingness to learn. They won't hire you because you don't have that degree, right? Hard to find places like that. It's just, I wish that the interview process was a little bit different. Say for these coding problems that they like to give at big places like Google or Amazon or something like that, right? From what I've heard, it used to be hell. Even if you didn't finish this coding problem, if they liked your thought process trying to work through this problem, you might still have a chance. Now it's just pass or fail. So I've heard, you know? Now it's just, oh, you didn't get it because you didn't pass this, because this is some random question that you're never going to have to see in a actual programming environment. And look, I get it, because they're supposed to test how you think. They're supposed to test how you break down problems. But damn. And there's so many resources nowadays that say I was trying to work at Facebook, right? Facebook has, obviously it's a popular website, and say I found a resource where I know the most common questions that Facebook asks, and I just memorize those, and I just go in there and ace all my tests, right? And say there's someone with way more experience than me, way better than me, trying to apply at Facebook. They didn't memorize those questions. They obviously might not pass the test. They don't get the job. Now, who's a better programmer? I'm not better than the other guy simply because I passed these interview questions, right? That's not how programming works. So I guess my question is, how is the interview process going to be better to actually weed out the bad programmers and the good programmers? And again, if you're a watcher and you are hiring, please hire me. I'm not complaining. I'll take that test, okay? I'll take that test. But and keep in mind, the people who are giving these interviews are also people who had to take these tests to get into that position to even be giving you whatever, right? So I'm sure they also have the same mentality, but unfortunately, that's the industry that we live in. That's how you break in. You know, you impress them with your personality, and you pass a couple tests, and you're in, right? But I honestly, as much as I'm complaining about it, I have no solution because I get it. But it's frustrating. But also there are some companies who will take advantage of you. So please be careful with your time, because remember, that is your time. That's time you could be spending on your own project, bettering yourself, and not just taking some long interview, you know, take-home test just for them to be like, never mind. Literally said never mind to me. Ooh, I still have that in my head. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Dummy Codes, where we talk about coding or we do some coding. My next video is definitely going to be some coding because I've been talking for way too long. I appreciate y'all watching. Subscribe, like, do what it do. Bye.